Good afternoon, welcome along to the June meeting of the Community Wellbeing and Regulatory Committee. Welcome to those who are joining us on the live stream. We've got no Zoom attendees this afternoon, but I have apologies from Reverend Cook and Councillor Kett. If somebody would like to move, Councillor Broad and Councillor Stewart. Put that all in favour. Aye. Against? Carried. Any declarations of interest for this meeting? All very interested? Good. No items of public forums. We move into the minutes of the Community and Wellbeing Regulatory Committee from May 6th. Someone who want to move that we receive those? Trish, seconded Tom. Any matters arising? If not, I'll put the motion. All in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Community Wellbeing Fund Subcommittee from May 22nd. Trish and Steve. Any questions or matters arising? Put that all in favour. Against? Carried. Minutes of the Creative Communities Scheme from May 29th. I can move. Trish, any questions about those decisions? If not, I'll put that all in favour.
Aye.
Against? Carried. And the minutes of the District Licensing Committee from May, which I'll happily move.
Second.
Thanks, Leslie. Any queries? If not, I'll put that all in favour.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Rhiannon, that brings us to the local alcohol policy review process. The current policy expires early next year, so we're trying to put in place a process to ensure that it is reviewed robustly. Rhiannon.
Thank you, Chair. So just a short report on this matter, really because it's around the process rather than the meat of the topic in terms of the issues that the local alcohol policy would address. We have had conversations with Southern District Council officers regarding the process. So this would need to be agreed with their committee as well. We have a policy at present that covers both areas. We have a joint policy, and one of the things that could be considered through this process is the pros and cons of considering that, and I think that will very much just come out of the issues. There's also the opportunity, should Gore District Council wish to join, that might be something that they would like to consider. So as we know, just whenever we have multiple council areas involved, that brings just a logistical complexity. So that's what this report is really speaking to. Because of the timing of the election coming right in that end of that period, that just creates a complicating factor, hence the recommendation in the report to agree the hearing panel structure and to delegate that now for the new council to then fill those positions, and the recommendation that just for one cycle the review process moved to 5 years rather than the legislated 6. So it's not suggesting that would happen on a 5-yearly basis on a permanent cycle. So yeah, really good conversations with our colleagues over at Southern District just around this process and making sure we meet these legislative timeframes, and we have already started that early engagement with the legislative required parties, which include the police and the Ministry of Health.
Thanks, Rhiannon. 2 terms ago at this time we were actually in the process of making the decisions, so it's not sorry, I'm told the live stream's got a bit of a hiccup. I'm just going to adjourn for a moment while we sort that.
Oh, Wallad Renard up there.
Right, we're back. Well, we haven't gone anywhere. We've been waiting for the stream to come back up. So we're going through the process of... No? Are you sure?
It's looking
Excellent.
good.
Now that all the thumbs are pointing in the right direction, I'll reconvene. We're going through the process of approving the process for our local alcohol policy review. The last time we did it was 6 years ago, which was again almost crossing over a triennium. So thank you for the suggestion that it's reviewed in a 5-year period, just this once to get out of that. We look forward to hearing, I guess, from Southland District to see if they're comfortable with the approach that we're proposing. And I guess process-wise, the door is open for Gore District to approach us to see if they want to come back into a combined lab. Thanks. So there are 4 recommendations. I'm happy to move them.
Second those.
Thanks. Any questions or queries? Rangi?
Just regarding the licensing trust aspect for Gore and Invercargill, how does that affect and vary what sort of policy gets drafted compared to a city of similar size that doesn't have a licensing trust? None.
So the trust is, its activities are contained under the Sale and Supply of Alcohol Act, and that's not reflected. The expectation is the local alcohol policy gives effect to that. So it's contained separately.
I guess where I'm heading to is does it go into consultation with the people involved, like the business owners?
Parent bodies, so pre-consultation, for example, would include not only the relevant trusts, but also hospitality.
Yeah,
New
the
Zealand.
restaurants. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I was just wondering, because if you had a place like Dunedin, you've got a whole lot of operators compared to, say, the bar and off license, because it does off license as well.
Yes.
Takeaways, yeah. So I thought there might have been a sort of a one policy fits all for New Zealand, but obviously not.
It's more about dictating where activities happen and the times that they happen that each district prefers. Districts can also look at addressing concerns they might have around proliferation of off licenses, for example, proximity of licensed outlets to sensitive sites like churches or schools, things like that. Liquor ban areas, although we have a separate policy for that in Invercargill. So
Okay.
those matters.
Thank you.
Grant.
Thanks, Chair. Just on the early engagement list, I know it's not exhaustive, but clubs and societies are a pretty important piece of that. They be listed there as an early engagement.
Difficult one to pick up, but you generally capture those through the consultation process, so they have the chance to come forward. And I know that, excuse me, for the rural areas in particular, clubs struggle because of dwindling population and some of the costs associated with selling alcohol can become prohibitive for them. So they don't have a parent organisation, but they do have a chance to have that say through
Make them aware
consultation.
through the consultation process of that ability.
Yeah. Pania. No? That's that. Any other questions or comments? If not, it's been moved and seconded. I'll put that then. All in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. And now we'll wait to hear from Southland District. Thanks, Rhiannon. That brings us expeditiously to the public excluded session. Somebody want to move that we go into PX for the reasons as outlined? Leslie? Seconded, Grant. I'll put that all in favour.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thanks to those who've joined us on the live stream. Apologies for the issues that we may have had partway through, but this is our first day in our new transportable transmission home.